All right, so we got par 4, home club. Slight little dog leg left, I guess, really, but pretty open.
Go through everything first or hit and analyze after?
Yeah, we could just, I mean, if you want to say out loud what you're thinking right now, why don't we start with that?
So right now, like Aaron was saying, par 4, slight dog leg to the right. Initial alignment for me is going to be probably at your house in the distance on the right-hand side. With a little draw would be ideal. If not, I know straight out is a pretty good area to miss, or in my case, just leave it out. So just working on a nice smooth transition and let the club kind of do the work.
All right, I like it. Oh, that's pretty perfect. Would you say that was ideal?
Yep.
All right, so post shots pretty much pick up the tee and let's go with the cart, right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Covering everything.
My man.
Still going?
Stay warm.
Staying warm here. Let's go.
So when you're, in these tournaments that we play in, we usually take carts, right? Are you trying to have a conversation with the guy who sits next to you, or are you trying to take your own cart?
I like to, depending on the day, depending on how, honestly, if I feel a little stressed, I might try and get my own cart and stay to myself. If having a pretty good week, I'll try and stir up a conversation. I try and keep my mind as clear as possible, so I don't mind engaging in a conversation. But I know, right now we're about 10-15 yards away from the ball, so now the attitudes are going to change into...
Could you have hit it any further? Jesus.
The type of shot I want to hit, pin, yardage, shot selection, shape, all that stuff is now trying to kick in, so less talk, and now it's just more action.
All right, so we're inside 100. We got 95 yards to the center.
So a white pin.
Green's going to be a little firm because of the cold.
Yeah, a little firm, a little downwind.
Like in that...
Probably going to try and slice down a little wedge here.
Kind of that shot we were practicing on the range in that other lesson?
Yep.
Okay.
To get it to more or less hit and release a little bit instead of hit and grab.
Okay.
So
you're picturing that flight?
Yep. Trying to picture it definitely lower than the trees in the distance.
All right.
Again, probably needed about a good 90 yards, 85 to 90 yards. And here, I'm just thinking, right at it.
Okay. Yeah, flighted it good.
So not exactly what I wanted, maybe a little bit quick on the transition.
Okay.
Head came up a little bit too quick.
Well,
And everything was pretty good.
so what I would say was, I don't know if it was really as quick in the transition, but from what I saw from a pre-shot perspective, that the pre-shot wasn't as tight as like the one on the tee box, or like when you went in there, like you took an extra practice swing kind of here over the ball, right?
Okay.
It's most of the time, like when you play, like your practice swings are back there, you walk into it and you go.
Okay.
And so like you took that extra practice swing because the wind picked up, and I would have said like, okay, in tournament condition, maybe that was the time to like step off, readjust, right? So let's try it again. Much better. How was that? That was good. Yeah. See, I would say like the one thing that we know about the guys on tour is that their pre-shot's never changing, right? Like they got it down to a science, like the time that they're walking to the ball, how many waggles they take, you know, this, that, the other thing. If it ever differs, they're stepping off, right? So, I mean, what I like about you is that your timing in terms of how you walk into the ball, it never looks like you're rushing to get there, you know, and that kind of fits your personality. So all that's good, but when I see like an extra practice swing over the ball, which is out of the norm for you, then I would say, okay, let's reset. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Isn't it too cold for you out here?
What's that?
I said, isn't it too cold for you out here?
It's cold to play.
I know, I know.
I'm torturing them. So a little firmer greens, they kind of, this cold up here in the north, that ball's gonna bounce a little harder than we expect, but let's move them over here and let's start hitting a couple putts.